Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Shadowkeeper Bloodworth, which is a term that I am going to use anytime that I am talking about ShadowDark instead of Game Master or Dungeon Master. So Shadow Master I always thought, or Shadowkeeper, I always thought was a better term for it for this particular game system anyway. So as you can see, I just recently, today as a matter of fact, got the box in my mail. And so I am going to be doing a box opening and then talk about review just the physical books and supplements, since I have already a nice archive of videos in a playlist where I'm actually breaking down the game system. So I'm really, really stoked about this coming through and just in time for convention season for me. I'll be traveling to a convention not this weekend, but the following weekend, going down to Philadelphia Con. And so I am going to bring at least one of the books with me. And maybe I'll do a pickup game while I'm down there. But if not, maybe I'll come across some people associated with it that I can get some autographs as well. So really excited about this. So let's get right to it. So I like the size of the box. You know, that's very encouraging because it tells me a bit about what is going to be the size inside. And now I backed it at the $150 level, and that is going to include the that's going to include both editions of the core rulebook. So I'm going to get the standard and the collector's edition. And first thing I'm pulling out here. So here is the collector's edition, all shrink wrapped and ready to break open and delve into. Now, I've seen some other videos, and they've been talking about how the collector's edition is thicker than the standard. So I'm certainly going to look into that and see, possibly why. So I will do a comparison while I'm doing this here. And here are some of the other items in the box. So I'm just going to pull everything out of the box in the meantime. And there we go. The box is now empty. And so here is the standard edition of the book. I picked up an extra copy of this. I think it only cost about $40 during the Kickstarter to actually get this added to the deluxe set. So glad I had done that, because this is most likely the one that I will be using most of the time, and then the rest will be the other book will sit on my shelf and be fairly protected. So the comparison in thickness is really quite obvious. I mean, so that's going to be an interesting thing to take a look at. But so here we have the standard edition. I have the same matching t-shirt to the standard edition, so that is awesome. And then the deluxe edition, and again, I'm going to do a comparison. This is a packet of single card adventures. So it's a number of quick little adventures that I could do, perfect for bringing to a gaming convention and going through it. And now that I have these, I will also do some reviews separate from everything else of these specific adventures or the other components of it. Here are the 12 character cards. And so you can see that these are, I will open up this one here, and we will take a look at the cards themselves. And I want to talk about, again, the physical quality of these. these are pretty heavy. You can actually possibly even hear it. This is a heavyweight cardboard, and you can see the layout of the card. Everything you need on just one index card. Great picture for you to kind of get a sense of what the character is like as well, and it should be all 12 of them. So this is a human priest. This here is also a human priest. So here's another human priest here. So we have two priests. But we got two of everything, so we will see. Potentially male and female of each. So this here is a human fighter. A female. The cards are so thick I keep on thinking that there's going to be two of them. So there's a upside down human fighter. They are thick. This here is an elf thief. So here is an elf thief. Here's a human wizard. Kind of dark looking guy, right? Human wizard. This is most likely a dwarf thief. So here is a dwarf thief, yes. So these are great. I mean, these are, I would make copies of these on still a hardstock paper to hand out at a convention for players to actually play. Here is a goblin priest. So that's pretty cool. All right, a goblin priest. Let's make sure I'm holding it up right. This is looking like a dwarf fighter. Dwarf wizard. Oh, he looks pretty rugged for a wizard. I'm really impressed with that. So this is a halfling fighter. All right, so there's the card, and that's the image. The human wizard. a human fighter. And yep, you have all your basic stats and everything. Wow, this human fighter only has 5 hit points. Let's see. So, pretty cool. And finally, a half-orc thief. So it's a really good selection of characters, and so quite a number of them. So you can certainly support a table of 5 or 6, and give them each 2 characters to have in case one of them dies. You can pick up where you left off with your second character. So that's very, very impressive. Now we have the magazines, right? So these are the zines. These are the Cursed Scrolls. And even these are pretty hefty. I mean, it's a, I will open up number 1 here. And they feel like they're on a pretty heavy stock. And they are. The board of it is pretty hefty. And there's a nice map there, and looks like a hex crawl, right? And then you have some random charts and the Cursed Scrolls. And I started doing reviews of these on my channel as well. So each of these are going to introduce some new character types, and so you'll get new character classes, I should say, and then some new patrons. So new, patrons or deities included, along with their boons and diabolical backgrounds. In this particular one here, you have new magic and magic mishaps, spells, and so each of these zines also include a hex crawl adventure, and then monsters and new monsters to be added into the rules, and then another full-length adventure, which you can see here is a map of a nice dungeon map and everything. I mean, just phenomenal. I can imagine just bringing this and the core rule book and the screen, which I'm going to show in a minute, and and running this at a convention, and you can mix it up and bring all 3 zines with you. It came with 3 zines, and looking forward to that as well. So these are the additional monsters that came through this Kickstarter, and we were actually watching in real time some of them actually being created, and so that's really exciting. So you can bring these with you as well, and just hand them out so the players can see at least the image of it, and afterwards they can see the actual creature. And then here is the I'll just show this off. So this is a little stingbat logo. You could put that on something. I certainly won't put it on a book, but I would put it someplace else. So let's open up some of these, and I'm going to actually jump to the screen very carefully. Remove this plastic from it. And I want to just show off the screen. And the screen itself feels pretty hefty too. So far, everything is on a pretty hefty cardstock, and in this, you can certainly hear this. I like the height of this, because you can easily put this down in front of you, and it's not blocking your view of the table. And you can still do your dice rolls in front of this, and very easily reach over. The height of this is not very high at all. So let's see, we have and again, the cardboard, you could see the thickness of this. This is heavy duty cardboard on here, and very, very clean, clear charts that you can read very easily. The artwork is just phenomenal for this. I mean, it was a choice to do black and white, art, and I think it was a wise choice, because this really does have both. It's both modern in its complexity and its design, how very dynamic it is, and yet it's still nostalgic in just having the black and white art to it. It just captures the feel of both modern gameplay and and old school all simultaneously. So we have NPC charts here, and their characteristics, are more of their personality characteristics. You have names, occupations. You have random encounters, and then just frequencies and distance and activity and reaction. You have treasure, and then you have XP for treasure quality, and then luxury items. So you have, you have the random charts that you're going to probably use most frequently while running ShadowDark, and so we have that there. So now let's take a look at the 2 core books. And I'm going to start with the standard. And yes, I'm opening them both up because I want to see why the deluxe edition is so much thicker. And so I will do that, and I will open up the deluxe at the same time. Okay, let's put that scissor away. And so here we have the standard, and I want to just check page count and see if page count is the difference between the two. So this goes up to 160, I'm sorry, not 168, this goes up to 323. And let's see where that actually ends. Yeah, in all, and ShadowDark has its third-party licensing on page 325, just so you know. So obviously, it is a step away from the OGL, which is great. The timing of that was incredible, and I'm just checking it out. Now, the standard version does have a bookmark, the cloth bookmark, or ribbon bookmark. I'm just trying to get to it. Here we go. So even this version comes with the ribbon bookmark, which is nice. And I am certainly going to use my little post-it note tabs to mark off the sections that I think are most useful. So again, this is a total of 324 pages of content. Now, the inside cover also has content on it, so there's no wasted space whatsoever, in this book. I mean, there's one blank page here, but everything else is just laid out, and you can see the layout and the way that it's very, very clean and clear, very easy to follow. Each section with a nice bold banner before each title. So whether it be a spell or a class and whatnot, and then just details of rules. Also very clean, short paragraphs, short little chunks of information, and even the charts, which are very compact, but they're very clean and easy to read as well. So that's the standard. So now let's take a look at this and see why this might be longer. So it is the same page count, and I'm assuming that it's going to be all of the same content as well in here. The bookmark is also the same. So that's so the thickness has just got to be in the page thickness. So let's take a look at that and see if, I mean, these pages, you can hear, like, individual pages are very, very heavy. They're very heavy, and even these are not thin, but just slightly thinner. And I think that's what makes the difference between the two books, is that because the cover themselves and the bases are maybe just a slightly thicker binding on this, and the pages are just a heavier weight page on it. But that's the difference between the two, and it really amounts to almost like a quarter of an inch difference on that. So it is quite a hefty book to go with here, and I'm testing to see how much this will open up and see without really pressuring it. This one here is going to open up a little bit more so, because it's just not as heavyweight as the other, which is, this is going to be the play copy anyway. So so really impressed with this overall, and I'm really excited to start using this at at conventions and start running this. I'm also going to, as a parallel, I want to test, because I know some people have said this is a great for one shots, a great for short campaigns, but it doesn't really have that long campaign, either feel to it or design to it. And I'm going to test it out. I'm going to test out that theory. I have a feeling that I know it goes from level 1 to 10, and I will go back over, and while I'm play testing it, I will see how rapidly the characters actually go up in those levels, to kind of get an idea of how long a campaign might run. But super stoked, with this. Definitely going to bring this to a convention, and I'm running this in April at Rising Phoenix. So now I'm going to actually look through the. I was going to write an adventure for it and go with a unique adventure for it, but maybe I'll just take a look at the 3 cursed scrolls that I have, and perhaps just run one of those as a as kind of like a primer to help support its continued work. So that's what I'm looking to really see. Is I'm looking to see 2 things come out of ShadowDark. I'm looking to see it played consistently at upcoming conventions, and I will join any games that I see if it's in my time slot, and I can actually sit down and play it, and I'm certainly going to run it myself at conventions as well. I might even start running this at my local game store just to get it out there. So that's the first thing that I think I encourage everybody to do that has gotten this, is to let it be seen in public being run, and you will attract a lot more players to it that way. The other thing, I'm hoping is that, that Kelsey Dion and Arcane Library go forward with this, and maybe start looking at, well, what is the next step for ShadowDark? Is there going to be a more advanced version of it where it's going to take it up to higher levels, and so longer campaign type construction to the game system, rather than just adding bloat to it, because I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing, is to add too much player choice and variety and that kind of thing. Overloaded with classes and subclasses and that kind of stuff, I think would be a misstep in it. But I would certainly like to see what it does already have, and expanding the levels and such. If that's the way that it will need to go, and I'm hoping to see more cursed scrolls, that will be awesome as well. As well as just whatever its next step is, because it's very exciting product to finally get into our hands. And as always, I encourage everyone to give these other alternatives to D&D 5e or Paizo, Pathfinder 2nd edition, and instead look at these game systems that are much more simplistic, and do have some of those modern aspects, and yet still that old school feel to them, and really push out these independent and OSR creators. So thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing you at a gaming table, at a convention, or on screen sometime soon. Be on the lookout for my live stream tonight at 8 p.m. as I do a session review of our last Castles and Crusades session number 2, which was almost 2 weeks ago now, and uh, and then just general chat, kind of wrapping up the year in tabletop RPGs. So you'll have a great day and take care.